What now? She seems so busy. Master said there's no rush, but I know that he's been busy working on something at Party's DI, so he hasn't returned to Gandharville for several days now. I feel for Madame Faruzan, but I still want to ask her to come with us. But if I get her in trouble with the academia, then she won't have the time to help Master. What should I do? Oh, this is such a headache.
That's how to resolve her current problem?
Yeah, that would be the best for them both. I'll check with Master later and see if there's anything I can help him with. But I'm sure he'll say, the best thing you can do now is study hard, so I don't have to give you remedial lessons.
Like I said, help Faruzan.
Oh, yes! This way she can get her problem sorted out quickly, and then she can go see Master. So, if I also stay and help... that still sounds kinda scary.
You don't have to force yourself.
Okay then. I'm counting on you.
I have to teach students from Haravatat, or owe Kasharawar a favor. It strikes me that they might be even less happy about such a deal than I am.
I think I can sympathize with them.
We're back, Madame Faruzan. The Traveler said that he can stay and help you.
Oh, why I couldn't ask for more. In fact, I'm rather curious about the type of person the Traveler is. You were the one who taught Azara a lesson after all. That said, will I be troubling you?
There's no problem at all.
Is that so? Good. It does so happen that I do have something I need help with. Now, should I apply to teach a course with Haravatat, or join the collaborative project that Kasharawar is proposing? Honestly, I don't want to choose either of them.
Let's hear what this Kasharawar collaborative project is.
I don't know if Tainari's told you about this before, but while my research involves learning about ruins and the mechanisms within them, I don't belong to Kasharawar, which specializes in researching mechanisms, nor am I in Spontamod, which specializes in researching energy flow. Instead, I'm part of Haravatat, which specializes in languages and scripts.
No wonder. Okay, so let's think. He only said that you're a very... Well, he only said that you're a very senior researcher in the field of mechanics. You don't belong to or responsible, huh? Let's go with the top one.
She has been invited to Kasharawar multiple times to continue her research, but she's rejected them each time.
Just listen to how they introduce themselves. In the future, Kasharawar will be the only Darshan with the ability to research mechanisms. There's no such thing as exclusivity in knowledge. Besides, the current Kasharawar is more concerned about how mechanisms can be used in everyday life, while my research involves textual analysis of ruins. If they're trying to use the collaborative project as an excuse to have me reconsider again...
No, that's not it. The request this time is from Akara Crafts. The representative of Kasharawar recommended you to them, Madame Faruzan. In truth, she told me that it's because she respects you a lot.
Oh, respect? Oh, my.
You know she loves that. Respect. She's gonna be calling her. She'll be like, oh, they about to respect this elder.
Putting aside my ideological differences with Kasharawar, I suppose I must acknowledge this attitude of theirs. At the very least, they're bounds above those decrepit Haravatat fools.
It won't hurt to hear them out.
Yeah, Akara Crafts is a pretty nice shop.
I thought you left already.
Well, since both of you feel as such, I shall first hear this proposal.
Oh, I remember what Akara Crafts now. It's that little toy stand place, ain't it?
In summary, Akara Crafts wants to design a series of early learning toys that will cultivate curiosity and learning in children.
Ooh, good idea.
Early learning toys. Interesting.
The academia agreed to work with them because they hope that these toys can help children become excellent researchers in the future.
True. The current academia is in need of some new blood. If the children start learning now, perhaps I can find some talented students in a few years.
That depends. Did she stop aging like entirely? Like she doesn't age at all now, or because time still flows? But like, does she even age? She's like 100 plus, right? Because however old she was when she first entered that place, she is now 100 plus something, like 26, 19, 20, for all we know. So how much longer does she actually have to live, right? Unless she just don't age no more. Because now if she has become immortal, she essentially won't age. Shoot, she might as well be a sage of the academia. She'll be a forever sage in the academia until she feels like she don't want to be a sage no more.
Madam Faruzan, you still haven't found any students?
Anise, Kasharawar's representative, should be staying in the inn at Port Ormos. If you want more details, you can find her there.
Port Ormos? Now there's a place I haven't been to in a long time. I wonder how much it's changed.
I probably can't join you since Port Ormos is a little far from here. I should probably go back and report to Master, and then review today's homework.
No worries. Go do your homework, Kale. Once I'm done with everything here, I'll head over to Pardistii.
Homework sounds like such a childish thing to say. Homework. Isn't that weird? I don't know why. It just feels weird when I hear homework. Homework doesn't even sound like adult work. That sounds like children work. I'll take you there. I can help you out.
Thank you. Why, I'd even call this a rare chance for a curious researcher like myself to observe the legendary traveler up close.
True. Because me and Faruzan, well, correction, Aether and Faruzan are a little alike due to the fact that immortality, essentially, or extended of lifespan. Because all we know that the traveler is human. He look human, he act human, he function human. So it's like, what could the traveler be that's not human? Superhuman is the only thing that could make sense. Artificially made human, a designer baby. But until we find out the biology of the travelers, we don't know. We can only assume that they're human. Hopefully I'll be able to get done. Hopefully this route isn't very long. It could be done in like 30 minutes.
Madam Faruzan! Oh, it's really you. Did you change your mind?
Okay, so it seems like she has respect for the woman, Faruzan, because she referred to her as Madam. So it seems like she really wants her to join their darshan. She really wants them to. She really wants her to join their darshan. She respects her enough to refer to her as Madam Faruzan.
All right, calm down. Let me be clear. I'm still not all that interested in Kasharawar. I'm just here to see how the project is going. After all, you're here as representatives of the academia in this collaboration. The reputation of all research is at stake here, so I will not simply stand by should mistakes get made.
Either way, it's good that you were willing to come. Now, we've given Akara Crafts many ideas over the past couple of days. However, their owner thinks that our designs are too complicated, which will drive production costs too far up.
That's expected. Students who have never had to deal with budgetary constraints probably don't understand how important it is to keep costs low. How enviable. Oh,
By any chance, has it been very difficult for you to get funding for your research? Bro, this is one whole sentence. I hate when they do this. It's like, bro, y'all make the text bubble big enough to have like a whole 2 lines of sentence. And you can't put this together? Come on.
If you join the Kasharawar, your budget will be as big as you want it to be. I guarantee it.
that's enough. I will not
Oh my
repeat
goodness.
myself. Take me to Akara Crafts owner first, if you please.
All right. He's usually at the slope up ahead recruiting volunteers to test out his toys. Let's just head over.
Okay, so let me. I just got some information, can I even say family news? Something in relation to that, and it really just knocked me out of my jug. Granted, I was prepared for such news. It just really threw me off. But emotionally, that is. I gotta sort my feelings out, so I have to
the
let
one
it.
I recommended is here.
Oh, so you're, Madame Faruzan?
Yes, that's me.
Ah, wonderful. We haven't been able to make any progress on our collaboration recently. We've made many suggestions, but Miss Anise thought that those ideas were too simple and wouldn't be effective in training the mind.
These early learning toys are meant to help the academia train future researchers, after all. If they're too simple, then how are they any different from regular toys?
But if they're too complicated, not only will they be expensive to produce considering our production capabilities, but they won't have much broad appeal to Sumeru's children either.
So the design can't be too complicated, but it can't be too easy to play with either.
I remember that in your notes, many contraptions have managed to fulfill complex functions despite using simple parts. Maybe we can do something similar with these early learning toys.
The contraptions in my notes? I didn't create those. I simply took the contraptions in the ruins apart and analyzed them. But now that you mention it, the ruins did have things like that. Do you have a pen, paper, and scissors? I'll make a paper prototype.
You have an idea already? I suppose I should have expected as much of a respected academia senior researcher. We do have those, yes. Please, help yourself.
What you about to make?
Oh, you're done already?
I know what this is. They tried to use their Genshin Impact little style to show off a toy idea for children. I know exactly what this thing is. I've seen this a lot as a child.
Let me explain. These 3 thick lines represent 3 poles. These paper strips of varying lengths represent rings of different sizes. They can be slotted onto the poles and stacked up like a tower.
Well, that is easier to make than I expected. So, how is this game played?
That's very simple as well. You just need to shift the tower from this pole to another pole.
Isn't this a little too simple? Even by the standards of an early learning toy, I mean.
Of course, when moving each ring, the paper strips in this case, you must follow one rule. You can only move 1 ring at a time, and you can't place a bigger ring on top of a smaller one. It's like building a tower. The rings in the 3 poles must be stacked from big to small. I named this toy Pagoda Stack.
Pagoda stack.
That sounds way too simple. Even I feel like it's missing something.
Give it a try and you'll find out if it's simple or not. I heard from Anise that you find volunteers to try out the toys, right? Why don't we do the same for this game?
It's such a simple toy. There's no need to...
Mamdu, let's just do as she says.
Okay, then.
Bro, of course, you need to test out every product that you make, simple or not.
And that's how you play this game. You can all give it a try. Let's see who's able to move the tower to another pole in the smallest number of steps.
You called everyone here for such a simple toy?
It doesn't look like it'll take that many steps.
Come on, we all promised to help Mr. Mamdu test out the new toys. He said he'd give us new Genius Invocation TCG cards.
Like a whole Genius Invocation TCG feel like more of a learning game than this toy game right here. Shoot, they played in Bakugan. They already know math. So they were lured in by the promise of a different toy. So they learned the promise of new cards.
Ugh, fine. Let's get this over and done with so we can head back and play cards.
The TCG taking the world by storm.
Done. It took me 19 steps.
I wonder if the Harbingers play TCG, or anyone will play it.
Huh? It took me over 20 steps.
I only needed 18 steps.
Not bad. Looks like you're all familiar with the rules now. Then let's increase the difficulty. The next tower will be 5 layers tall. Now then, give it a shot.
I'm trying to think. Are they able to it must be multiple rings on all 3 poles, and then you just gotta stack it up all to like one specific location to make it a tall one. Oh, that means the rings are all jumbled up and mixed together. You gotta follow by the rule of no big ones on top of small ones, and so on and so forth, so they can stack up properly. Okay.
Wait, there's more?
Well, since we're already here, why don't we just give it a try?
An extra layer shouldn't make it that much harder, right?
What's going on? I've already moved over 30 steps, but I'm still not done yet.
What do you mean 30 steps? It's only 5 layers tall. I wish they had show a physical display of this so I can understand what this game looking like. Because if it's looking like the game I think it's looking like, it shouldn't be hard. It shouldn't even take 30 steps. They're not allowed to stack an item on top of each other. And the start off is all of them jumbled on each 3 poles, and they're all jumbled around each other. Then adding a 5th layer. Yeah, okay, so I just created that in my mind. So if they're all jumbled up together on all 3 poles, mixed about from big and small, swapped places, one on top, one on bottom, and scattered amongst it, and it's 5, then since you can't just pull one off and hold it in your hand and then move the other one, it seems like you have to actually still move that one piece over to another pole and swap it around until you get to stacking it. Okay, so I understand the game now.
I'm almost done. Looks like I'm the faster one this time.
Done! It took me 35 steps.
What? How?
This pagoda stack toy is pretty fun to play with.
Good. We'll try it one final time. This time, we'll add 2 more layers, making 7 layers in total.
Oh, my dog running his mouth.
Mamdu, we've still got quite a few paper strips here. Why don't you give this a go as well?
I'll be right back. And I'm back.
Do you need that many steps for something this simple? Let me try.
Madam Faruzan, allow me to try it as well.
See the effect of the game now?
You were looking at it quite seriously just now. Are you starting to understand the principles involved?
I think so.
If you want to test out your hypothesis, you'll just have to play and find out.
Got it.
We don't have enough paper strips left for you, Traveler. However, by the looks of things, you seem to have the game figured out.
Somewhat, just about.
Why don't you guess what the lowest number of steps needed to solve a 7-layer pagoda stack is?
Oh, Lord. Oh, goodness gracious. I didn't see they didn't display the game in like a 3D model for me to fully grasp it. Now I gotta sit here and think about it. I really want to figure this out. If it took someone 35 steps to get it done. If it's 7 layers on 3 poles, and we assume that all 7 pieces are scattered about all 3 poles, and since we don't have a visual to see how in that manner are they scattered, are the big ones on top of small ones and vice versa, and we can also have to assume that you're not allowed to hold a piece in your hand and keep moving pieces until you collect them in your hand and hold it there before you grab the rest of them and move them around the slot. If you're not allowed to do that, then we can only assume that you have to move one piece by piece to each 3 poles back to back to back until you get it done. So at max, I want to bet 100 steps because it shouldn't take 27 steps or 127. But if it's how I imagine it being jumbled at first with 7 pieces, it shouldn't take 100 steps. But at the same time, okay, I gotta think. This is a guessing game, and they haven't given me no visual to actually understand how many steps I could possibly take with it. Let's go with 100.
What a shame. You were close. However, you did well for someone seeing Pagoda Stack for the first time. Let's see how well they do then.
Don't tell me it's 127. That would be so crazy.
If I move this small ring, then the big one won't be able to go on top of it. Oh, this is going to take more steps than I expected.
I've lost count of how many steps I've taken. Can I restart?
This got a lot harder.
I solved it. Madam Faruzan,
Ah!
it takes 127 steps in total.
I should have clicked that one.
That many? But there are only 7 layers.
For every extra layer in the pagoda stack, the move order you need to consider becomes much more complex, and the number of steps required will at least double.
More accurately, it will require double the steps plus 1 each time. You did well. You didn't underestimate the principles behind it just because it's an early learning toy. The complexity of any given contraption isn't determined by the number of parts it has. The way the parts interact and the rules behind how it operates are important too.
Oh, I see. No wonder you emphasized in your notes that no contraption should ever be underestimated.
I see. So even a simple toy can become complex with the right set of rules.
That's right. The rules used for Pagoda Stack are the simplest kind when it comes to ancient contraption making techniques. I could spend some time picking out all those machines that do something similar and write you a reference book.
Wait, what machine is she referring to though? Connery machines?
Once that happens, you can give the volunteers the reference book and paper prototypes and find out which toy is the most popular. Do you have any other toys?
Now they want more toys.
When can we play with them?
In about 2 days or so, I think. Anise, if you're free, can you help me with the illustrations for the reference book?
Of course. I'd be honored.
2 days should be enough for us to find more volunteers. Then we can organize a huge conference here, at which we can announce which toy we'll be making.
Should I come back in 2 days then?
You'd be most welcome. We need more people to get a healthy range of opinions. The more, the merrier.
Thank you for coming here with me today. I'll walk back with you.
That's a long walk. Think about it. That's if you take it by boat.
Is Madame Faruzan really going to mentor me? What an honor. I'm sure she'll say helping with illustrations isn't mentoring. So, don't tell her I said that. Is Madame
Hold on.
No wonder she's so well respected at the academia. When I first saw her, I thought she might be unreliable because she's so young. Don't let her know I said that. Anise warned me about that before.
Is that back? I'm actually tired. That it was 127. Wait, hold up. Where is she at? Oh, she says she's still here. Oh, she's downstairs?
I'll be going then. Say hi to Tainari and Kale for me if you can. Once everything here is settled, I'll make my way over to Pardis DI as quickly as I can.
So about Kusharawar. Yeah, oh yeah, about Anise.
Anise. We
Anise.
haven't had much time to get to know each other, but she seems like a good kid. She's able to calmly figure out the basic principles behind something without being influenced by others. I'll do my best to teach her over the next few days. Still, how much she learns will really depend on her.
But didn't you take her as your student?
Well, her interest lies in the application of mechanisms. I do have some old knowledge to share, but if we think about the future, it's easier for her to learn the things she's interested in if she stays in Kusharawar. My research into mechanisms is, in a sense, a side effect of my research into ancient texts. If she becomes my student to learn how to make modern contraptions, it wouldn't benefit either of us in the long run.
I see. I hadn't considered that.
However, if she develops an interest in deciphering ancient texts over these next 2 days, That would change things. If I successfully poach a student, those young punks at Haravatat will have one less reason to cut my budget. Perhaps if this collaborative project goes smoothly, I can even ignore Haravatat and ask for a higher budget directly from the academia.
About the collaborative project, do you have any ideas?
Oh, I could come up with lots of ideas. With Anissa's help, 2 days will be enough for our work. However, I'm still undecided as to the style of the reference book's text and illustrations.
Try to be accurate and detailed. Try to keep it simple and fun.
You're right. If no one understands the reference book, it doesn't matter how detailed it is. It's better to make it simpler and fun so that children will be interested in the subject. It'll also make it easier for me to recruit students in the long run. Thank you. I'll take your opinion into account. See you in 2 days.
Two days from now. Okay. 1, 2. I don't know what the traveler be doing to spend his time for 2 days to pass. Oh, I just had a thought. You know what would be so cool if the okay, since I already did it, you can't see it, but if the commissions work like that, where you have to wait for the in-game time for the next day to appear, so you'll be able to do more of them, then it'll be like back-to-back collecting primos without waiting for the real-life time. You'll just have the in-game time, and you can keep cycling day by day by day by day by day, collecting primos and whatnot, and leveling up material and all that sort of stuff. You feel me?
Oh, you're here. We're just starting to set up the venue.
We've called up everyone we possibly could have. This is going to be quite the event.
My masterpiece is going to be exhibited after all. Let's see what the academia shall say about it this time.
This time.
And if we activate this little mechanism just like that, a Sumeru rose will appear at the top of the cane.
Oh, I see.
I thought it came out of thin air. It's amazing.
If the mechanism was bigger, you could make a rabbit appear, right?
Then you can't use a cane. Could you switch it out with a hat or something?
You're applying what you learned creatively. Not bad. Let's look at the next page. If you fold an origami bird like this, it'll fly further and more stably.
Whoa. You can make a mechanism using just a piece of paper?
Which is crazy.
The principles at play are even more important than the parts that make up a mechanism.
These are pretty cool. I'm tempted to try them out.
I'm not that interested in toys, but if they'll be beneficial for children's development.
Everyone, we have paper prototypes and craft materials that you can use to make your own toys. Come try them out.
This is such a well-prepared event. I'll give it a go.
I like this man's voice actor, I swear. He is golden. I enjoy his voice actor so much.
But we want to play too.
It's fine. We have a lot of paper prototypes and craft materials. All feedback is also welcomed.
Oh, my origami bird flew further this time.
Professor Faruzan, how can I make mine fly further?
Ahem. Just madam will do. Maybe in the future, you may indeed get the chance to call me Professor. You may wish to pay attention to these few details. Here, for example. All right, try it again.
Wow, it really did fly farther.
Madam Faruzan, will we learn origami at the academia?
No. They'll teach you to be bastard people who treat other people like trash. If y'all play all hate them story quests, you would know. You so much to mess up somebody's stuff from graduating, you're dead to them.
Of course you will. If you become a researcher, you can explore any field you like to your heart's content. In the future, if you want, you can even become one of my students.
But Mom and Dad said that there are 6 Darshans in the academia. Wait, was it 7?
Shoot, they need to make a 7th Darshan for her. Specifically, because y'all do need to study for ancient runes. Y'all don't know what's going on in the background. You got the Abyss Order going on. You got the Fatui going on. And then finally, Celestia. Which Celestia hasn't been doing much, but from what we can tell from how the island is set up, it looks like it's above Fontaine, and a nail could possibly be dropped on that nation. So,
Which Darshan teaches about mechanisms in origami?
Well, in this case, it wouldn't be Haravatat.
I feel sad for her because she just spent this whole time helping children build a mechanism type game instead of a game that requires writing and translating one text to another to try to make it fun. That's what type of she should have made, like a word game for children. But instead, she made a mechanism game. So the possibility of them being her students, it has went out the window.
I know. We need to choose Kasharawar.
Oh no.
Huh?
I want to attend Kasharawar in the future and fold even better origami birds.
See?
I want
This is not the effect she was trying to do. She did it by default.
Actually, the other Darshans do have their own specialties too. For example, Haravatat specializes in... Pay attention, children. Children.
Looks like these early learning tools are a success. However, looks like recruiting students might be an issue.
How did this happen?
What if we end up in a Darshan we don't like? Does that mean that we won't get to learn about the things we do like?
Yeah, do they do that? Do they put people in Darshans they don't want to go into? Or do they get to choose what Darshan they want to enter?
No, that won't happen. Take me, for example. I'm a researcher from Haravatat, but I research mechanisms. See? The only person able to restrict your curiosity as a researcher is you. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Not really.
Huh. It's all right. You still have a long road ahead of you. Now, do you want to learn about some other machines?
She sit here and wanted. Oh my goodness, she really in a dilemma for real. She wants to teach. She wants to have a class so she can get her funding back of teaching how to translate ancient script and language, right? But unfortunately, she's picked up the skill of how to handle mechanisms or dismantle mechanisms and analyze their parts and reconstruct mechanisms through being trapped in that ruin for all them years, right? So since that's happened to her, it's kind of she got an added skill to her already skill set. But this added skill is not helping her get more students.
Let me tell you a story about pressure-based mechanisms and elemental monuments.
Mm-hmm. See? That's sweet. Boom. Time for the